Standing up in San Antonio. This is, according to Callis, coming to you on the 21st of May, the year of our Lord, 2024. This is episode 639. The convention begins. So, on Monday, I served on the subcommittee related to finance. And that subcommittee, we passed a plank change that would allow for and encourage transactional gold. If you don't know what that means, you should go check out that book, Pirate Money, by none other than Mr. Kevin Freeman. If you would like further information, you can check out the Economic War Room. They were there. They're going to have a booth during the entirety of our convention. So you should pay them a visit. Let's see. The other thing of large note is Rule 46, which would close the primaries, was passed out of rules last night. Now, keep in mind, these are all the temporary committees. The Rules Committee will be also looking at rules or relating to number 8, which has to do with the precinct chairs as well as the chairman of the counties. And then Rule 44, which is how do we deal with elected officials that, quite frankly, disavow the very platform that they ran on. Those will be coming up. You should be aware of it. If you are coming to the convention, those will all be available for further discussion on Wednesday. The Platform Committee will be meeting and Rules Committee, and then you'll have one last chance after you elect a permanent committee if there's any alterations that need to be made. I'm fairly confident that with all the work that has been done by the various committees, that the majority, a strong majority perhaps, in the entirety of the body will be thrilled with said changes. However, I fully anticipate there will be some measures within the individual counties that are unpopular. Oh, also, if you have strong feelings on the Convention of States one way or another, you should know that the Constitutional Issues Committee did meet yesterday, and it was a subcommittee. And during that subcommittee meeting, they did strike plank 37. Now, this mirrors what occurred in my own SD8. And I got to tell you, of all the options, this is the best one. Now, let me tell you why. Because you're not going to get a rescinding of said call. It is going to time out in 2025. That gives an opportunity for those folks that are in COS to turn more states so that they can come back and reapply in 2025. So it's kind of a no harm, no foul situation for them. It gives the folks that are anti-COS exactly what they wanted, which is a removal of the call that already occurred under Greg Abbott. So everybody gets something that they want. Now, I'm quite frankly, I think this is the best way. I'm happy about it. And I will say over the years, I don't know that I'd say I moderated my position, but I've just accepted that there's a lot of good people on both sides of this issue, and neither side is my enemy. Do I think there are bad people behind COS? Well, some, yes. Some are funding it, yes. But that doesn't mean the people that I know, I work with, and I respect are bad people, and I refuse to let them be cast as that way. But on the flip side of that equation, I personally don't support the Convention of States. I don't think it is a good idea. But if that is what the body wants, if that is what the state of Texas were to actually call for, I'm going to be in the trenches fighting with those people because, like I said, a good number of them are good people, and they're going to want people like me on their team. So I'm not going to go out looking for a fight that is pointless, in my opinion. That being said, kudos to the people that fought back hard for the last 6 years to turn the tide on this. I know that was very important to them. Today we're going to be talking about state affairs. That would be Tuesday. That is the other subcommittee I serve on. So all your pro-life issues, the way the state governs itself, are all going to be there, including the call for Texas independence. So I look forward to having the robust discussion on all those issues today. We did run really late in our meeting last night, so I'm actually recording this first thing this morning. It will be short. I hope it's sweet, but this is where the lion's share of the work gets done in subcommittee. It's just like this in every legislative body there is. So if this is a primary interest to you, if it's uber important, this is your opportunity to get here and be heard. You'll have one more opportunity on Wednesday. I will tell you that by the time Wednesday gets here, most people have already made up their mind, but it doesn't mean that it can't be swayed or it can't be changed. The casino lobby, I have not seen them, but I have seen some of their stuff. They're here. They're going to push. I think they're largely ignoring the party at this point because they know the party's not interested, and they're just going to keep focusing on giving lots of money to our elected officials to abandon our principles. So you want to keep that in mind. But again, I will say that there are a lot of people that are supportive of gambling, that are good people, that I would like to work with on other things. I just think they got this wrong. That's the trouble we have in the Republican Party, and I say that, tongue in cheek. People actually think for themselves. They have their own opinions. They draw their own conclusions. They feel strongly about issues that maybe are outside of the quote-unquote mainstream of their own party. And I think that's a good thing. I think that you have to reevaluate where you stand, what you believe from time to time, and make sure that you do a good job and you have a good understanding of the issues at play. It's also, I got to say, a surprise to me the number of people that I run across that are transplants. And they're here, and they're very worried about the future of Texas. They're very involved. And they get, I would say, disappointed when all these shortcomings within Texas are put upon them as transplants. Now, to be fair, there are a whole lot of people that do come that bring all their baggage with them. But they are quick to point out that the majority of young people in Texas are no longer conservative. The young people in Texas actually have no respect for Texas other than maybe their sports teams. And I think they bring up a very valid point, and we need to be cognizant of that and deal with it and come up with a solution. You cannot continue to send your kids to government schools and expect to get something other than a government operative. This has got to be dealt with, and honestly, the Republican Convention can say whatever we want to say about these things, but until we reform, i.e. replace the government school system within the state of Texas, you're never going to be able to fix it, because the people that wield the power have zero interest in fixing it. They, quite frankly, like people that are dependent on government, like people that are dependent on those that are in charge. We have to overcome that. We have to work together to improve it. I mean, even moderates want their children to be well-adjusted and well-educated. This should be an easy sell. It should be an easy sell to come up with some form of school choice that is agreeable to everybody. I know that's going to be a major issue here, both on Wednesday, if not in education today, as well as the next legislative session. The governor has made it his priority to get some form of school choice, his form of school choice, passed. Quite frankly, I'm not sure that I'm sold on his version of school choice, but I am grateful that we are getting some movement and something being done. Again, when you look at the state of Texas and what needs to be done, this is a prime opportunity to be involved and make a difference and be heard. If you support in a culture of independence in Texas, if you support Texans running Texas, if you support Texians being heard by the rest of Texas, this is your opportunity. This is where you need to step up and be involved. Now, unfortunately, the ship has sailed to become a delegate or even an alternate, but you can still come participate and watch. You can still, be a spectator. But that doesn't prevent you from going to your local school board meetings, your local city council meetings. Go visit the commissioner's court. These are all very important meetings that happen all the time. Now, I would encourage you. You need to learn how Robert's Rules works. You need to learn how to work within the culture of the committees and the way conventions operate, because decorum matters. if you show up to these meetings, whatever they are, and you just yell at and scream about your issue, nobody's going to listen. Nobody's going to take you seriously. You have to put forth a good, well thought out argument. Lobby. You can be passionate, yes. You can be a little animated, yes. But you want the respect of the people that are listening to you, and you have to give it to them first. It is a two-way street. Now, look, I can't control and fix what certain elected officials do, but we can lead by example. We can show them that we mean business and that we're serious. And these are certain expectations that we have as Texians, right? Ladies and gentlemen, that was the brief recap of the things of note that happened on Monday here at the state convention. I will have more information for you on the Wednesday episode, which will cover the events on Tuesday as well as anything that I missed from Monday. It will be interesting. It is hot. Please take the opportunity now to get involved, to make a difference, to be heard while Texas is still Texas. And with that, this has been According to Callus, live from San Antonio. And as I say, the biggest thing that you can do to make a difference, as far as I'm concerned, for me, because it's my voice, if you don't want to say anything, all you have to do is subscribe and follow, like and share. These are all very simple things that can be accomplished in just a few minutes. Get the word out. I'm happy to go speak my mind, speak my piece, share it with the whole world. All I ask is you give me the due diligence. Give me an opportunity to speak to you, speak to your friends, speak to your family. And it's perfectly fine and legitimate to disagree with me on certain things or disagree with me completely. But you have to be respectful about how you do it. And to that end, there are plenty of opportunities for you to participate and give feedback. Show up on the social media of your choice. I have a page and a group at Facebook. I'm a pro at Gab. I still drop in at MeWe. My audio is up at YouTube for now. And guess what? I do exist in real life. I'm all over Collin County at different Republican events or elected officials events. And I'd love to meet you, interact with you. And quite frankly, I like getting the information. I like hearing what's going on. I want to be involved. We live in a bubble. That bubble is both the Republican Party and Collin County. We have to learn to interact with other people that are not in that bubble. And we need to be gracious and listen to their feedback and, quite frankly, take it to heart and have that honest one-on-one with yourself later on. You know, is this really important? Is this a net gain? Is this something that is super important that we want to risk, chasing off other people that would otherwise support our end goals? With that, this has been According to Callus, and I will see you on the other side.